Uhuru, everyone. Uhuru, welcome. Welcome to the Reparations Study Group, episode 12. This is themed Revolution versus Reform, U.S. and France out of Africa. And we have a very special guest on here tonight, Casey Mackey of the African People's Solidarity Committee and Uhuru Solidarity Movement. Uhuru, Casey.
Uhuru, great to be on.
Uhuru. Casey is on the ground in St. Louis, the home of the Black Power Blueprint economic programs, where all the reparations we raise in the Uhuru Solidarity Movement go to. So if you're new, welcome. The Uhuru Solidarity Movement was formed and is led by the African People's Socialist Party. The African People's Socialist Party has the goal of the total liberation and unification of Africa and African people everywhere. So that includes Black people in the U.S., in Brazil, in Sweden, everywhere, and of course on the continent of Africa. And today's study, we are studying page 4 of the Burning Spear newspaper. That's the news organ of the African People's Socialist Party. And it's an article by Louise Kinshasa. The column is called Kinshasa International. And Louise Kinshasa is the Secretary General of the African Socialist International, which is basically the African People's Socialist Party all over the world. So African People's Socialist Party Bahamas, African People's Socialist Party Azania or South Africa, African People's Socialist Party Berlin, or Germany, everywhere. So he's the Secretary General, and he wrote an article called "We Cannot Be Fooled. Macron Reforms the CFA to Maintain French Colonial Domination in Africa." And we took tonight's title in part from at the end of the article when he says France out of Africa, U.S. and France out of Africa, because we recognize that the U.S., France, and other white countries, we're still colonizing Africa up until today. And we have internal colonies as well, the Black community in the U.S., and the Black community in France itself, in the U.K., etc. So the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, the African People's Socialist Party, formed us, recognizing that white people, we can play a role in the African Revolution and the Black Power movement. This movement is a continuation of the Black Power movement of the 1960s, of the Marcus Garvey movement from the 1920s and 30s. And the African People's Socialist Party formed and leads, many different organizations, 50 different organizations, including the Uhuru Solidarity Movement and African People's Solidarity Committee. And we are organizations of white people under their leadership who organize in the white community for reparations. We take their demand for Black power, their demand for reparations into our white communities and recruit. And in fact, we're having a membership drive goal of 100 members in 1 week. And we need recruiters and we need members. So if you are interested in that, go to uhurusolidarity.org/recruit. We need as many recruiters as possible to recruit as many members as possible. And, to be a member is to really take a stand for reparations. If you support reparations, this is the movement for you. This is the only movement for you. So no other movement is under the leadership of the African Revolution, of the Black Power movement. So I just want to invite you to that and make that call. Ali Ayello, our national membership chair, is leading that drive, and she was originally going to be a guest on tonight. In fact, was not able to make it, but she asked me to put forward that drive right at the beginning. So I want to invite you to that. I know Casey Mackey is involved in that on the ground in St. Louis. I just saw a photo she sent out of the beautiful board she made to have at Outreach tomorrow, calling on people to join this membership drive. So, so before we dive into our study, first I want to appreciate everyone who's tuning in. You see, we have a number of people watching YouTube. I know that Virginia Wilson is watching from Louisville, Kentucky, and as our Facebook loads on my computer, I'm going to be shouting out more people. And before we begin, I want to salute our leadership, the African People's Socialist Party, including Chairman Amalia Shatella. Chairman, pictured here on his latest book, Vanguard, The Advanced Attachment of the African Revolution. He has been fighting for his people and all oppressed people, all colonized people, since the 1960s. And he formed the junta of militant organization